Imagine a tiny island. No natural resources, no oil, no gold, no farmland. Just a swampy trading port surrounded by bigger, stronger neighbors. Now imagine that island not only surviving, but rising to become one of the richest, cleanest, and most admired nations in the world. That island is Singapore, and the man who made it happen was Lee Kuan Yew. But here's the twist. The strategies he used to transform Singapore aren't just admired by governments. They're being studied, copied, and applied by billionaires and business leaders across the world. This is Lee Kuan Yew's secret playbook, the same principles that turned a struggling city into a global powerhouse. And today, billionaires copy these same moves to build companies, grow wealth, and leave a legacy. So let's break down this playbook step by step. By the end, you'll see why some call Lee Kuan Yew the CEO of a nation. Chapter 1. Start with harsh truths, not comforting lies. Most leaders choose the easy path. They sugarcoat problems, reassure people with comforting words, and promise more than they can deliver. It feels good in the moment, but it rarely produces real change. Lee Kuan Yew did the exact opposite. When Singapore became independent in 1965, it was a tiny island with no natural resources, a fragile economy, and surrounded by larger, stronger neighbors. There was no safety net, no guarantee of survival. Instead of telling people what they wanted to hear, he confronted the harsh reality head-on. He told his citizens, "We are poor, we are vulnerable, no one owes us a living." This brutal honesty did something powerful. First, it forced people to face reality. No illusions, no false hope. Second, it created a sense of urgency. Citizens knew that if they didn't act, Singapore could fail within years. That sense of urgency sparked action, innovation, and a collective drive that became the foundation of the nation's success. Billionaires today follow the same principle. Warren Buffett admits his mistakes to investors openly. Elon Musk warns the public that Tesla or SpaceX could fail. Jeff Bezos repeatedly reminded shareholders that Amazon could go bankrupt if it stopped innovating. The lesson is clear: face reality no matter how uncomfortable. Ignoring problems or sugarcoating them only delays the inevitable. Only by confronting the truth, however harsh, can real solutions be found, risks mitigated, and extraordinary results achieved. Chapter 2. Long-term vision over short-term popularity. Most politicians focus on the next election. Most businesses fixate on quarterly profits or short-term gains. It's human nature. Immediate results feel safe, predictable, and rewarding. But Lee Kuan Yew operated differently. From the very beginning, he thought in decades, not months or years. He understood that building a nation is like building a company. Shortcuts may feel good now, but they can destroy future potential. Singapore, he knew, had no natural resources and no safety net. Its survival depended on careful planning, discipline, and investment in the long game. That's why he poured resources into education, training a skilled workforce long before foreign investors arrived. He built infrastructure that sometimes seemed excessive at the time. Efficient ports, public housing, world-class airports, laying the foundation for decades of economic growth. And he enforced laws that were strict, even unpopular, ensuring social stability and investor confidence for generations to come. Billionaires today follow the same playbook. Jeff Bezos sacrificed profits for years, reinvesting every dollar into Amazon's growth, despite criticism and skepticism. Elon Musk invests in future technologies that may take decades to pay off. Warren Buffett buys companies not for immediate returns, but for long-term compounding. The lesson is clear: ignore short-term noise and immediate applause. True leaders and wealth creators focus on sustainable growth, systems that endure, and strategies that remain effective for 10, 20, even 50 years. Build for decades, and the results will outlast your critics. Chapter 3. The Power of Discipline. Lee Kuan Yew didn't just talk about discipline, he lived it, and he demanded it from everyone around him. For him, discipline wasn't about fear, it was about results. Corruption was banned and ruthlessly punished. Laziness or incompetence in government was not tolerated. Every policy, every civil servant, every decision had to meet the highest standard. The results were visible everywhere. Singapore's streets became spotless. Public transport ran like clockwork. The government earned a global reputation for efficiency and integrity. Citizens understood that discipline was not arbitrary. It was the engine that kept the country safe, prosperous, and respected on the world stage. Billionaires today understand the same principle. Steve Jobs was famous for his relentless perfectionism. He would reject 99 prototypes before approving the one that met his standard of excellence. Ray Dalio, the hedge fund legend, enforces radical honesty and strict rules inside his company, ensuring that mediocrity never survives. The lesson is universal. Talent alone is not enough. Even the smartest, most gifted individuals fail without discipline. It's what separates good ideas from great execution, average teams from world-class organizations, and ordinary careers from extraordinary legacies. In short, discipline beats talent every time talent gets lazy. Whether you're leading a nation, a company, or your own life, the consistent application of rules, standards, and self-control transforms potential into results that last. Chapter 4. Attract the best people. Lee Kuan Yew understood a simple truth. Singapore had almost no natural resources. Its only real asset was its people. Survival and success depended entirely on attracting, developing, and retaining the brightest minds. He didn't cut corners. To prevent corruption and ensure top talent joined public service, he paid government ministers salaries higher than in many private industries. This was radical at the time. But he knew that underpaying talent invites compromise, mediocrity, and failure. Beyond money, he built a culture where excellence was expected, ideas were respected, and the best minds could thrive. He surrounded himself with advisors and ministers smarter than himself, understanding that a leader's strength is multiplied by the quality of their team. Billionaires follow the same principle. Steve Jobs had Jony Ive, the visionary designer behind Apple's most iconic products. Bill Gates relied on Paul Allen's genius to co-create Microsoft. Elon Musk doesn't settle for ordinary engineers. He hires the top minds and pushes them to achieve what most would call impossible. The lesson is clear. Talent is leverage. The right people can transform ideas into empires, small teams into global movements, and ambitious plans into reality. Attract the best, reward them generously, and give them the freedom to shine, and you multiply your impact far beyond what you could achieve alone. Chapter 5. Small Market, Big Thinking. Singapore is tiny, smaller than New York City, but Lee Kuan Yew refused to think small. He knew that a small landmass and population could easily become a limitation if leaders confined themselves to local ambitions. Instead, he dreamed big, and he acted even bigger. Under his leadership, Singapore transformed into a global powerhouse. Its port became the busiest in the world, connecting Asia to every major economy. Its financial district grew into a trusted hub for banks and investors across the continent. And its airports and logistics systems turned the city-state into a central node for global trade and travel. All this from a nation that lacked natural resources and strategic depth. Billionaires think the same way. Mark Zuckerberg didn't stop at Harvard. He scaled Facebook to billions of users worldwide, creating an entirely new digital ecosystem. Elon Musk doesn't just manufacture cars. He's building rockets, solar systems, and advanced AI, tackling problems at a planetary level. The lesson is simple. Never let your size dictate your ambition. Your market may be small, your resources limited, or your beginnings humble, but vision knows no boundaries. Think globally from the very first day. The moment you expand your mindset, opportunities multiply, impact grows, and what seems impossible in a small world becomes inevitable on a larger stage. Chapter 6. Adapt or Die. Lee Kuan Yew approached leadership like a master strategist or a CEO analyzing competitors. He knew that success wasn't about reinventing the wheel, it was about learning from the best, then making it work for Singapore. He studied systems, policies, and innovations from around the globe. From the West, he borrowed advanced educational methods to build a skilled workforce. From the East, he adopted discipline and respect for authority to create an orderly society. From Japan, he learned efficiency in industry and urban planning. But he didn't copy blindly. He adapted each idea to fit Singapore's unique challenges, culture, and ambitions. This approach mirrors how billionaires build empires today. Jeff Bezos observed Walmart's logistics and applied them to online retail, creating a global e-commerce giant. Elon Musk studies aerospace history, then combines it with cutting-edge technology to push rockets, cars, and AI beyond imagination. Netflix borrowed the DVD rental model, then pivoted to streaming, and eventually created original content that redefined entertainment. The lesson is unmistakable: adapt or die. Don't hesitate to take the best ideas you see, even from competitors, and then improve on them. Innovation is rarely about invention. It's about evolution, iteration, and relentless improvement. In a fast-moving world, those who cling to old methods stagnate. Those who observe, learn, and adapt thrive. The ability to borrow, tweak, and perfect ideas is what separates ordinary leaders from legendary ones, and small nations or startups from global dominators. Chapter 7: Control the Brand. For Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore wasn't just a country, it was a brand. Every action, every policy, every image projected to the world had to reinforce one simple idea: Singapore stands for safety, honesty, and efficiency. He understood that perception is reality in the eyes of investors in the global community. Corruption, chaos, or instability could undo decades of careful planning overnight. So he controlled the nation's brand with almost obsessive attention to detail. Clean streets, transparent government processes, and strict law enforcement weren't just practical, they were a statement. This is a place where business can thrive and promises are kept. The result: investors from around the world poured billions into Singapore, confident that their capital was safe and their ventures could grow in a stable, reliable environment. The nation's reputation became a magnet for talent, investment, and partnerships, far beyond what its size or resources might suggest. Billionaires understand the same principle. Apple's brand signals premium quality, Tesla's brand screams innovation, Rolex's brand whispers prestige. These brands command loyalty, justify premium pricing, and attract the best collaborators, all because they carefully guard what people think of them, even when no one is watching. The lesson is clear: your brand is your treasure. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. Protect it fiercely, nurture it daily, and let it speak louder than words. A strong brand doesn't just open doors, it builds empires. Chapter 8: Build systems, not just results. Lee Kuan Yew didn't focus on short-term victories. He aimed for lasting impact. He knew that quick wins might look impressive, but they fade. What endures are system structures that continue delivering results long after the founder steps aside. Singapore, under his leadership, became a masterclass in systemic thinking. The Housing Development Board, HDB, provided affordable homes for generations, transforming citizens' quality of life. The Central Provident Fund, CPF, ensured retirement security, giving people independence and stability. A strict anti-corruption bureau built trust in government, cementing Singapore's reputation for integrity. These weren't one-off achievements, they were frameworks designed to last, evolve, and thrive over decades. Billionaires adopt the same philosophy. Ray Dalio built Bridgewater Associates on principles that outlast him, ensuring the company operates consistently even without his daily involvement. Warren Buffett structured Berkshire Hathaway around disciplined investment systems that survive beyond any single leader's influence. The lesson is simple yet powerful. Results fade. Systems endure. Whether you're running a country, a company, or your own life, creating processes, rules, and frameworks ensures that progress doesn't die when your attention shifts. Systems multiply your influence, preserve excellence, and make success replicable. In the end, anyone can achieve a momentary win, but the true mark of genius of lasting leadership is designing systems that keep winning long after you've left the room. Chapter 9: The Courage to be Unpopular. Lee Kuan Yew wasn't afraid to make hard choices even when they angered the world. He banned chewing gum, cracked down on littering, enforced strict laws on drugs, and imposed tough rules on crime. Western media called him authoritarian. Critics labeled him a dictator. But Lee didn't flinch. He famously said, "If nobody's afraid of me, I'm meaningless." To him, discipline and order weren't about control for its own sake. They were the foundation for a society that could survive and thrive. Without structure, freedom is meaningless, and progress is impossible. Singapore's remarkable transformation didn't come from popularity, it came from courage and conviction. This mindset isn't limited to politics. Billionaires embrace the same principle. Elon Musk is mocked daily for his audacious visions: rockets, electric cars, AI, but he keeps moving forward. Jeff Bezos was called stupid for selling books online, yet Amazon became the world's largest retailer. Steve Jobs was even fired from Apple, only to return and turn it into one of the most valuable companies ever. The lesson is clear. Don't fear criticism, fear being ignored. Playing it safe may keep you liked, but it won't make you great. Standing for bold ideas, even at the cost of popularity, is what separates visionaries from the crowd. Influence, impact, and legacy belong to those who have the courage to be unpopular, but unwaveringly right. Chapter 10. Legacy over popularity. When Lee Kuan Yew passed away in 2015, millions of Singaporeans lined the streets. They weren't mourning a man who was always liked, they were honoring a leader who left behind something far greater than himself. A nation transformed. Lee understood that true leadership isn't about winning applause today. It's about creating systems, culture, and institutions that endure for generations. Popularity fades, trends come and go, but a well-built legacy outlasts both time and criticism. Singapore's clean streets, efficient government, thriving economy, and global reputation are all living proof of this vision. Billionaires play the same long game. Steve Jobs didn't just create products, he built Apple into a company that continues to innovate decades after his passing. Walt Disney didn't simply make films, he built an entertainment empire that inspires millions worldwide. Lee Kuan Yew didn't just govern, he built a country that became a global benchmark for success. The lesson is simple. Measure success by what remains when you're gone. Focus on impact, systems, and vision that outlive personal glory. Don't chase temporary applause or short-term recognition. Build something so solid, so meaningful, that it keeps working long after you've stepped away. Legacy is the ultimate currency. While popularity can open doors, it's what you leave behind that truly changes the world and cements your place in history. Conclusion: the CEO of a nation. Lee Kuan Yew never became a billionaire. Yet today, billionaires study him, dissect his strategies, and follow his playbook. Why? Because he showed the world that with the right mindset, relentless discipline, and crystal clear vision, a small, vulnerable nation could become a global powerhouse. He turned weakness into strength, scarcity into opportunity, and nothing into something extraordinary. His secret playbook is deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful. Face reality, don't sugarcoat problems. Think long-term sacrifice, short-term comfort for lasting impact. Enforce discipline. Consistency beats talent when talent gets lazy. Attract the best people. Talent multiplies your influence. Build systems. Results fade, but frameworks endure. Protect your brand. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. Ignore critics. Fear being irrelevant, not unpopular. Leave a legacy. True success is measured after you're gone. These aren't just political lessons, they're universal truths for wealth, power, and success. Billionaires like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Warren Buffett apply these same principles in their companies every single day. So the next time you hear about Singapore's miracle, don't chalk it up to luck. It was strategy, foresight, and unflinching leadership. And if billionaires are using this playbook today, maybe it's time we do too. After all, the principles that build a nation can also build empires, one smart, disciplined decision at a time.